Good morning, it's Monday, February 6, 2023. Welcome to a new edition of Lexington Water Cooler News. My name is Rock Daniels. I'm a realtor of 2 decades and owner of Rock Daniels Construction Company. I'm bringing you the latest news, weather, and sports free every single day right here in Lexington, Kentucky. So let's jump right in. All right, in weather today, the high is going to be 52 degrees, the low is going to be 41. Sun's going to rise at 7:37 a.m. and it's going to set at 6:06 p.m. In the Kentucky versus Florida basketball game, 2 of the players had an off night, but the Cats still managed to win 72-67. It was a team victory with 20 points from Cason Wallace, double-double from Jacob Toppin, and clutch free throw shooting. But John Calipari mentioned that Daimion and Chris Livingston made a big difference in the game. And Oscar Tshiebwe, who only scored 4 points, was still happy in the locker room. So Calipari's message to his players is to not miss shots. Turnovers and missed layups affect the performance, and to move on to the next play. The recent rise in U.S. non-farm payroll employment by more than 500,000 in January has led to a slight decline in inflation. The Catholic Action Center in Lexington, which provides shelter for the homeless, has started to feel some of the impacts and seeing the positive effects of this. Despite the tough start to the year so far, the center has received around 4,000 food donations within 10 days, which is a result of the community responding to a call for help on Facebook. Despite still having hundreds of people in need in Lexington, the early support from the community gives Jenny Ramsey hope for the future. She is asking people to help and make it a learning experience for children. So the EKU, the Eastern Kentucky University men's basketball team, won against Kennesaw State University with a score of 77-74 in their second game of the season. This makes EKU the only team in the A-Sun to beat the number 1 ranked teams in the conference. The game was a back-and-forth battle with several lead changes, but EKU emerged victorious with a 3-pointer from Devontae Blanton. Blanton led the scoring in the first half with 15 points and 3 rebounds. Big shout-out to my nephew, Blake Harris, who is the graduate assistant for the EKU men's basketball team. The new law in Kentucky, House Bill 8, has dropped the state income tax from 5% to 4.5%. To make up for the lost revenue, though, the legislature imposed a 6% sales tax on services that were previously tax-free, including cosmetic surgery, parking services, and fitness and recreation services such as dance classes. The dance studio owner has raised prices to accommodate the new tax, causing concerns about attracting new customers. Lower income people will be impacted harder by the tax increase, as the income tax cut benefits the top 20% of people, while the sales taxes are a bigger portion of the budget for the bottom 20%. The Kentucky General Assembly is considering cutting the income tax even further, which will make it harder for the sales taxes to cover the money lost from the decreased income tax. Lawmakers in Kentucky will reconvene for their second part of the legislative session starting tomorrow, Tuesday, with unfinished work ahead, including legislation to reduce the state income tax by another 0.5%. State President Pro Tem David Givens says the first piece of legislation he expects to act upon quickly is to cut the state income tax rate from 4.5% to 4%. Another bill he expects the Senate to act on is House Bill 2, which provides an additional $16 million to Veterans Nursing Home in Bowling Green. House Speaker David Osborne says he doesn't expect any earth-shattering legislation, but cleanup efforts and priority issues, including teacher recruitment and retention legislation and regulation of so-called gray machines, which are gambling devices that have sprung up across the state in recent years. A widespread drug shortage is affecting hundreds of drugstores across the country, including pharmacies in Lexington. Drugs such as children's Tylenol, ibuprofen, antibiotics, and Adderall are among those affected by the shortages, which are due to supply chain issues and a decrease in supply caused by COVID and an increase in illness. While there is no timetable on the duration of these shortages, pharmacists advise patients to talk to their healthcare providers and call around to different pharmacies. Some pharmacies may have the medication in stock that others don't have. The recent implementation of parking meter rate increases and the first meter enforcement hour changes in Lexington, Kentucky has frustrated business owners and employees, specifically restaurants. The change in meter enforcement hours, which now runs from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, has affected business negatively during crucial hours of dining operations. Restaurant owners and managers worry that customers will avoid coming downtown, choosing other restaurants outside of the city with free parking. They hope that people will still come downtown despite the obstacles, but acknowledge it will be a little more difficult now. Well, that does it today for Lexington Water Cooler News. Now that I've got your news, remember, Kobe Bryant said, Monday is just a reminder that the weekend has ended and it's time to make the best of a new week. So join us again tomorrow for all your latest news, weather, and sports, free of charge right here, sponsored by me, Rock Daniels and Rock Daniels Construction Company. Hope you guys have the best day.